Hello everyone, welcome to an all new video tutorial. Today we're going to be discussing how to load World Bank database into Stata. Normally, most researchers or people who are new to using data and who would want to use a World Bank database would normally go online to search for the data. So mainly, you go to the World Bank database, World Development Indicators, for example, to download the data, right? So you have this on your left panel. You have this list of indicators, your database, your country series and all that. But Stata has this very interesting add-on that helps you to maneuver through doing this. You don't have to go through all of this to be able to do that. Stata has this add-on that helps you do this. So what we're going to do is that we'll install this add-on. If you don't have it already installed, it's World Bank Open Data. Sorry, I made a mistake with this. You see, Stata using internet connection tries to load this data into Stata, and yes, so it's already installed on mine. So what I do next is I type into the command window database World Bank Open Data. This opens an interface for me to look for whatever that I want to search for, the variables and all that. Unlike how I would have to go to the online database of World Bank to do this. So this is what it does for me. It opens this database and allows me to search for whatever variables of interest that I want, and in our case, in this example, what we're going to be doing is that we will look at we will try loading single country data, which is in this case Ghana's data, and we're going to be looking for data on population growth, the annual percentage, and then GDP growth, also annual percent. And then we look for either years, running through 1990 to 2020. So let's do with that. But first and foremost, you need to know what the name of the indicator is, right? So what I can do now is that I look for the country name. Very important thing to do. From here, GH, right? So that's the end of these. So that's the only thing I'm looking for. Ghana indicators. Now this shows all the series, all the list of indicators that the database has. So there are multiple databases, and this shows you all the series of indicators that you have in your database, in the World Bank database. So it's quite difficult looking through all of this when you don't know what the actual indicator name is. So what we have to do next is, before coming here, is to look for the indicator name, that is population growth and then the GDP growth. So we look for that using help World Bank Open Data. Right, so it opens this dialog box for me, and what it does is that I have to search for my particular variable that I'm looking for. So by clicking on that search button, what it does is that it brings me down here to find the variable. So the first thing I look for is growth. And growth is in there, but there are a list of growth variables, so you have to look for the exact one that you want. And the list on your left is the topic. How do you have the variables in, and then the description that is on your right. So we look for that from economy and growth, because if you read what the description is here, it talks about having measures such as economic growth, right, GDP and all that. So you can find that here. So we click on this, the economy and growth title. Yes, so it does open it for us, and then we can continue to search for our growth variable. So there's rural population growth. That's not what we want. This says GDP growth, but it is not also what we want, because when you go back to this interface, the interface that I showed you, and then you put this in there, you would not find anything for this, right, for this indicator, because there's something like that there. So that is not the indicator name. So that's only the issue that you have to deal with when you're looking for the indicator name. You see, sorry, no data was downloaded for indicator this. So there's nothing like that as data for growth. So you have to look for this again. Growth. It's in economy and growth. So we keenly look for the exact and appropriate variable. You just need to be attentive while doing this, otherwise you may just skip it. But this is one way we're trying to do this. There are other ways we can do this. I think I missed it somewhere. Yeah, so there's it. So what I do is that I copy this and place it into the search box in the interface. Yeah, so let me go back to the interface. Database, World Bank, open data. And then I place it in there. Now, because I'm also going to be looking for population growth, I place a semicolon in here to indicate that I'm going to include another variable. So let's search for population growth. It will also be, because it's a growth variable, it will also be under economy and growth. So it's saving here, population growth, right? So I choose this variable and then send it in here. I should have semicolon, not colon. Yes. I mean, I could ignore the topic because I mean they are beneath or underneath the topic. So what another thing is important for you to do is to select these boxes, import data in the long form, and then replace data in memory, because you may have data already running in data, so you'd have to replace data in memory to indicate that to state that you're using the new data. Right, so it loads my data for me. So as you can see, if you should browse this, right, so we have data on Ghana from from 1960, but we need data from 1990 as we indicated. We need data from 1990 to 2020. We don't want all of the years. That you can do, because you now have the code for this, so you can just try and make changes to the code here. Add your year. In this case, you want 1990 to 2020, so 1990 colon 2020. Then load the data back again. So if I should browse this, it gives me data from 1990 to 2020. The next thing I could do is that you could describe your data. So describe and see what each of these variables are, the types are. So you have all of the ones which are read in your data editor or browser they are the ones in red are string variables, so it's noted there. And then the ones your actual variable of interest, these two are float variables. What we can do next is to rename them. So rename, right? Then we choose this, and we know that this is our GDP, right, variable. So rename this as GDP. It renames it for us, so it makes our analysis very easy for us to do. Then we rename again population growth, so as pop. Sorry, made a mistake there. Right, so we have this form. Now we can also rename, label the variables very well for us to identify them. Right, so we can also do label var GDP economic growth. Sorry. It has to be with it doesn't identify what the spaces are. So we can also do same for population growth. The pop here, and then I make it population growth. Yeah, so this is one way of doing this, trying to use data to do this very simple thing, instead of going all along trying to use the online database of data of the World Bank to load data into a particular file before you're able to try you try to restructure and all that. Stata does it pretty well for you. So this one we will do. We can do this. We'll look at another way you can do this using a do file. Right. So thank you for joining, and please do subscribe to my channel.